Hey guys, so yesterday we learned our first long division strategy, which was the Super 7. And today we're going to learn our second long division strategy, which is the standard algorithm. Now, this is the method that I learned when I was your age and your parents also learned. So if you hear, this is also, we like to call it the old way, but it's called the standard algorithm. All right, it's just a process that you follow these steps to do. And I'm going to show you, I added a little step to the way I do it. And so I'll show you that way as well as the way without that step. Okay, so long division, all you're doing is we have our dividend, which is 4,621, dividing it by 3. How many groups of 3? Okay, and so with the Super 7 way, we looked at this number entirely. We looked at this whole number, okay, as 4,621 and thought about our multiples of 3, okay? But in the standard algorithm, we take it digit by digit, okay? And so we kind of first pretend that these 3 digits aren't there, okay? And we think of 4 divided by 3 and get a number, okay? So what I like for my students to do first when doing this method until they're really good at it, not forever, but until you're really good at it, to write the first 9 multiples of your divisor. So this divisor is 3. So over to the side, I'm going to write all the multiples of 3 to 3 times 9. And I'll explain why you only stop at 9. So here, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Okay, so we start with 4 divided by 3. So I look at my multiples, and it's just like looking at your multiplication chart. But I know sometimes a lot of you don't want to flip back and forth to your multiplication chart, so I have you write the multiples to the side. So I can go to all the way to 3 without going over 4, and that's one group of 3. So the 1 goes on the top, okay? And 3 times 1 is 3, okay? And then I see what's left over, 4 minus 1. All right, so I just did these 4 steps here. I divided, okay, and I color-coded it. So my division comes from my multiples over here. That's where I get this number, okay, how many groups I was able to get out of that digit. My multiplication comes from multiplying the divisor by the partial quotient number I put on top. Okay, 3 times 1 is 3. You see that's green. My subtraction that's orange comes from subtracting what I got minus the dividend right here to see how much I have left over because it didn't divide evenly. So I had to see how much I had left over. Okay, then the next step is bring down. And we only bring down the next digit. We don't bring these down yet. We only bring down 1 digit. Now here's the step I added. So I like to call this my division house, okay? And I like to say my big dog goes in the house and little dog's knocking at the door. All right, so when I get to this bring down step, what I like to say, because sometimes 4th graders have a hard time remembering what comes next after you bring it down. So I like to say, bring down the digit, and I call this the door, bring down the door, divide once more. So now, as you can see, I have a new division symbol right here, okay? So now I have to repeat my 4 steps, okay? After you bring down a number, the next digit, bring down the door, divide once more, I go through these 4 steps again. So now it's 16 divided by 3. Okay, so I'll go over to my multiples. I can go all the way to 15, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So 5 goes up here, okay? Then 3 times 5 is 15, so I subtract, and that's 1. After subtraction, I bring down the next digit, then I bring down the door, and divide once more. So again, we're going to repeat again. Every time we bring down a digit, we repeat, okay? 12 divided by 3, so I go over to my multiples. Okay, I can go all the way to 12, which is 4 times, so I put my 4 up here. As you can see, my numbers that I get from over here, they're going to the top. Every time you divide, that's why there's a star right here. Any number you get after you divide goes on top. It's part of your partial quotient, okay? So then I do 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Bring down that last digit, bring down the door, divide once more. Now look, I have 1. I can get no 3's out of a 1. So 0 is a number, so we're going to use it. 0 goes up here. I didn't take any 3's out of that 1, so 0. So 1 minus 0 is 1, and that is my remainder. So my answer is 1,540, remainder 1. Okay, so I know that was a big problem. So let's scale back and look at it, do a kind of a smaller problem, a little that could be a little easier. Okay, so we're still following these steps: divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. You may have heard your parents, I learned Dear Miss Sally Brown. Okay, so these are our 4 steps to division. And if you bring down, you would just keep repeating those steps. This is just a procedure, and it's a procedure we're going to repeat over and over again. All right, so let's do 741 divided by 5. Okay, so first I'm going to write my multiples of 5 over to the side. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. I stop at 5 times 9 because you notice over here we're only putting single digits up here. We don't need to go all the way to 5 times 10. Okay, remember, we're taking it digit by digit. All right, so our first step is divide. Okay, we're going to pretend that I'm going to put a square over this right now. All right, so we're going to pretend that the other digits aren't there. So now we're doing 5 into 7. So I'll go over to my multiples. Okay, I can go all the way to 5, which is one group. Okay, one group. 5 times 1 is 5. I need to see how much I have left over. 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay, I just divided, I just multiplied, I just subtracted. My next step is to bring down. Oops. Okay, so I bring down my next digit, which is a 4. Oh, yeah, it's a 4. Sorry. Okay, so I bring down the 4, bring down the door and the digit, divide once more. So now I have a new division problem. Okay, 24 divided by 5. So I go over here. I can go all the way to 20, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So I put the 4 at the top. Okay, 5 times 4 is 20. And then I subtract. 24 minus 20 is 4. Okay, next I just subtracted. So again, I bring down the next digit, which in this case is a 1. So I bring down the 1, bring down the door, divide once more. 41 divided by 5. So I go over here. I can go all the way to 40, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. 8 goes up here. 40 goes down here because 5 times 8 is 40. I subtract and I get 1. So I have nothing else to bring down. So I say I have done, I am done. So no other numbers to bring down. This is my quotient. This is my remainder. Remainder 1. Okay, so let me do another one. Get rid of that. Okay, let's do another one. All right, I'm going to do 452 divided by 6. Okay, so we put our multiples of 6 to the side. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, and then 54. Now, you can do this list off of your multiplication chart. This is just saving you from having to keep going back and forth to your multiplication chart. Okay, so I'm going to pretend we're taking digit by digit. So I'm going to make a square to cover. Pretend those aren't there for right now. All right, 6 divided by 4. Now, I look over here. I start at 6. I can't get any groups of 6 out of the digit 4. So there are two things we can do, okay? We can write a 0 and do 0 groups of 6s, 0. And then we could subtract and write 4, okay? Then we would bring down the next digit, which is a 5, and divide once more, bring down the door, divide once more, okay? Or if we know we're going to put a 0 up there, instead of having to do this step, we could have just moved over and looked at 45, okay? So you can do it either way. You can put a 0 and work it all out and get down to 45 here, or you could just slid over and done 45 here and still looked over here. Okay, I can go to 42, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, would have gotten the same answer. And we would have subtracted 42 here, or 42, or 42 up here. We would have still gotten the same answer. So again, you could have put a 0 here, 0, and done all the work to still get to 45, or just moved over. Okay, whatever makes sense to you. Okay, then 5 minus 2 is 3, and that's 0. All right, so then we'll bring down, the 2, bring down the door, divide once more. Okay, 6 into 32. Let's look at our multiples. Okay, we can go all the way to 30, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6 groups of 5 is 30. And I'm left with 2. Okay, so my answer is 75 with a remainder of 2. Okay, so this is how I like to do my long division. Like I said, I like to write my multiples to the side and kind of use it to help me stay on track and follow this method. And every time I divide again, I bring down the door, divide once more. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through pretty much the same process. We just took a couple steps out. Okay, so like I said, whatever works best for you. All right, so here's the same process as you can see. Okay, we're dividing each digit, but as you notice, there, like this problem right here, they aren't drawing arrows. They're not bringing down the door, divide once more. Okay, so this is a fine way to do it as long as you're not getting yourself all mixed up. So we're going to do these problems down here, okay, and I'll do it this way. All right, so we have 9,121 divided by 3. Okay, so I see how many times can 3 go into 9? Well, 3 can go into 9 3 times. Okay, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 9 is 0. Bring down the 1. 1 divided by 3, I can't get any groups of 3 out of 1, so I put a 0. 3 times 0 is 0. 1 minus 0 is 1. Bring down the next digit. 2, that turns into a 12. So it's same 12 divided by 3. 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, 3 groups of 4 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Bring down that last digit, which is a 1. 1 divided by 3 again is 0. Okay, 3 times 0 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 1 minus 0 is 1. Okay, this method is really good for those of you that are really, really familiar with your division facts and your multiplication facts. Okay, and you don't necessarily have to see it broken down like this, but if you're still not comfortable with all your facts, you need to probably do it this way. Okay, all right, we'll do this one. 9,121 divided by 4. Okay, 4 goes into 9 2 times. 4 times 2 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring down the next digit. Make that an 11. So it's 11 divided by 4. 11 divided by 4 is 2, because we can't go higher than 8. Okay, 11 minus 8 is 3. Bring down the 2. Okay, now we have 32 divided by 4. 32 divided by 4 is 8. 4 times 8 is 32. 32 minus 32 is 0. Bring down the 1. 1 divided by 4, I can't get. You notice that whenever this number is smaller than this number, it's automatically going to be 0 up here. Okay? Because if I have 1, I can't give you any groups of 4. So I'm left over with a remainder of 1. Okay? And again, this is the way your parents probably learned how to do it in school. And this first way I showed you is the exact same way, except with a couple more steps to add, only to help you keep track. Okay? So again, both these steps we're dividing, multiplying, subtracting, bring down. Dividing, multiplying, subtract, bring down. Okay? That, dear Miss Sally Brown, those are the 4 steps of long division with the standard algorithm. Okay? Now, it may seem like a lot right now, but we're going to practice today and tomorrow. Okay? So if you need to watch the video again and watch me do these examples again, please do. And please ask your parents for help as well if you need it. And also you can ask me or Mrs. Raisler for help if you need it. I have also posted a video from Math Antics that has the guy from Math Antics going through this step. You can probably YouTube any videos showing long division standard algorithm if you feel like you need to hear someone else explain it as well, because sometimes it helps hearing more than one person explain it. Okay. So your work for today is a lot like yesterday's work. Okay, division using the standard algorithm. It's on this Google slide. Okay. You notice that this problem, all have divisors that are greater than that first digit. So remember on that example I showed you where, like this one, where you could have put a 0, since you can't get any 6s out of there, and subtracted to get 45, or you could have just said, oh, I can't get any 6s into 4, so I'm going to slide. Oh, let me move my numbers around, sorry. So if I can't get any 6s out of 4, I'll slide over and think of it as 45. Still got to the same outcome, just took out this 0 step. But you're more than welcome to do the 0, like I put the 0 step there if you need to. Okay? So do all this work on scratch paper. Attach your work to the assignment before turning it in. You can type your answers there, but attach your work, or we can't give you credit if we don't see what you're doing. If you're just typing answers there, then that tells us you just may have used a calculator. So we need to see your work that you're doing. And y'all have been doing a great job at sending us that. So keep it up. All right. Before I go, I'm going to remind you that you have morning work for this week. Okay. Make sure on your morning work, you are looking at each slide, okay, and telling me and Mrs. Raisler what is the distractor and why you chose the answer you chose. Okay. So make sure you're doing this, not just like putting nonsense here. okay? Because we will be starting to take a grade on these, all right? And also, you have your first homework assignment that I posted yesterday. It's right here, due Friday, okay? So you need to, some of you have already finished it. So you need to complete these multiplication problems and attach your work. We will not consider it completed homework unless we see your work. Because like I said, we need to see your work so we know you're just not using a calculator. So if you submit this assignment and don't submit any attached work or email it to me or Mrs. Raisler, we will return it to you and it'll be considered incomplete. So please make sure you're attaching your work so we can see it. All right. I know that was a very long video, but like I said, if you have any questions about long division, please ask and ask your parents for help. So y'all have a great rest of the day. See y'all later. Bye.